Chuck's laugh is frightening, Brad's anus is tightening. Brad's got a lot of thoughts to give. Chuck's toxically positive. They're here to laugh and joke with a few little jabs and pokes. Escape from your terrible life. You're a loser and an asshole, and you're filled with strife. Unbearable. They're terrible. They're fucking terrible.
So, this is more for the Fun Bears than for you.
Okay.
I wanted to let everybody know.
I'm in the room.
I wanted to let everybody know that there is a Patreon exclusive episode for the first time for Funbearable. So we have a Patreon. It's $2.50 a month. We have 400 episodes up there that are exclusive to the podcast, to the Patreon, and it is episodes of the Chuck and Brad podcast, which was the precursor to Funbearable. So if you want to check out 400 episodes for $2.50 a month, feel free to go over to funbearablepod.com, and it has the link for the Patreon. But yeah, so the first Patreon exclusive episode just went up.
Okay.
Now, what this is, I kind of wanted to explain it to people because this is a real fun one. A long time ago, we did episode 400 of the Chuck and Brad podcast, our last podcast, live.
Yes.
We did it at the Comedy Connection upstairs.
Right.
And what we did was like a big celebration episode. And we never released it because you need the visuals for it.
Right.
So on the Chuck and Brad podcast, we had no video component. There was no YouTube that we had. We just did audio podcasts. So we never released it. It just didn't make sense. We shot it with a wide angle. We did record it really well in terms of audio, but we never had a place to release it. So we thought instead of putting it on the main feed, which is weird to be like, here's an episode of a different podcast from this many years ago that was a milestone. You know, it just seems weird.
Right.
So we decided to throw it up on the Patreon for the Beartreons is what I'm calling them.
Okay.
And the Fun Beartreons. And yeah, you might want to check it out. It's very, very fun. So we've done so many live shows with so many segments. Do you ever feel like you don't remember them?
There were individual segments that I remember.
Yeah.
If you were like, which show was that? I couldn't tell you. I know that we did the harmonica bit for JT Habersat upstairs at the Comedy Connection because that was our first time doing a show at the Comedy Connection.
Yeah.
And so it was, rather than doing stand-up, let's come up with a 10-minute bit.
Yeah.
For the two of us.
Yeah.
And we did it.
Yeah. And to quickly just run this down for the Beartreons and actually for the Fun Bears, because this is not on Patreon.
Yeah.
It was great. We had Brian Bowden, our buddy who's been on the podcast. He did this big intro, like Masterpiece Theater,
Yes.
Opening the show for us. There was a segment called Brad Libs. Do you remember Brad Libs?
Now, Mad Libs, famously, you take suggestions of parts of speech, a noun, a verb, whatever, adjective, and fill in a story, and it becomes nonsensical, but you read it as though, like, Chuck ran down the street fartily.
Yeah. And there was, to all these, there's a game that I don't want to, each segment has a gimmick that I don't want to give away on the podcast.
Yeah, so I believe that we put forms on the tables when people got here
for all the audience members
to solicit input for the Bradlets.
Yes. Which is, and we don't want to give anything else.
Yeah.
And then next was Put Us in the Pictures, which is one of my favorite bits we do, which is we take movies and we make these terrible puns where we insert ourselves into movies in a way that is so shoehorned and absolutely terrible. And then the final bit was Brad getting revenge on me.
Yes.
And, or actually, you know what it was? Was it that? I don't know if it was that, but we did, that might have been not it. What it was the Chuck and Brad Hall of Fame ceremony.
Ah, yes.
So what we did was we had 400 episodes,
Right.
A lot of guests in that time. That's
correct.
So we wanted to start the Chuck and Brad Podcast Hall of Fame ceremony and give the first inductee,
Right.
surprise, that night announce the first inductee. And so those were kind of the 3 bits that are in it.
Right.
It's about an hour long, a little bit more than that. It's a very fun episode, kind of checking out the bits. I was like, man, am I proud of this shit. And I would love to do another episode, live episode where we do more bits. Obviously, how many have we done in the podcast? Like 3 so far?
Yeah, I think so.
3 live episodes. I love coming up with those bits. They are so weird.
They really are. Almost inaccessibly so.
But yeah, if you like what we do, if you want to see more live stuff, if you want to see a very strange live comedy show, check out funbearablepod.com and go to our Patreon, $2.50 a month, and you'll get the 400 episodes and the new exclusive live episode, plus maybe a hang. We do some Zoom hangs, and we're gonna do another one for this month. So good stuff. But I just wanted to say that because
Man, I really got you with those Brad lids.
the gimmick of the show was essentially Brad's revenge.
Yes.
Brad was running. I mean, I think the gimmick we said was Chuck was too busy. I was too busy to do anything. So Brad came up with everything for the show. That was part of the gimmick. And man, oh man, the Brad libs are so funny. It was a great time. But that's all. That's all I wanted to say. I just wanted to bring it up because it was good stuff.
Thank you for joining us. Welcome to another episode of Funbearable. I'm Brad Rohr.
And I'm Chuck, the guy who got screwed over in Brad libs, Staten.
That's your dumbest nickname.
It's accurate though.
190 episodes in, and that's the best you can do.
Well, it's the only identity I've cut out for myself in this episode. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know, man. I wanted to talk about the fact. I wanted to talk to the Fun Bears and talk about a little bit about what's going on. So what's happening right now, you might have noticed, is we're doing some episodes that I shouldn't say that. What we're doing and what I will be doing are a bunch of episodes with like panels and stuff like that that we've recorded. Some episodes we recorded in the same day. And I wanted to give the reason why, because a lot of times we really space out our panels. We kind of do like the big writing stuff. That's not happening right now.
Right.
And here's what's happening behind the scenes. We're doing a big film project.
Yes.
We've been preparing for it since September. We're shooting it in March.
Yeah.
So we're really gearing up for it. So we don't have a lot of time to do. We really want to make sure the podcast keeps going during this time. We don't want to be like, we're taking 2 weeks off. We're doing this. I don't want to do that. I want to have the podcast have this very consistent schedule, which we've kept for like almost 4 years at this point. And I'm really proud of that. So I didn't want to interrupt that. You didn't want to interrupt that. But we're not doing as much of the writing bits because that stuff takes a lot of time. Yes. The special stuff, the guests, and we're putting up more panels because we have some more panels, and we want to make sure we come out with something every week.
Yeah.
So the film project, like I said, we've been preparing since September, and we've been trying to raise money for it since September. If you're interested in possibly backing the project, please write us at funbearablepod@gmail.com. We're still looking for people to back it. It's just private investors. Right. We're not doing GoFundMe or Kickstarter or anything like that because we're doing a private film project. We won't have any gifts to give back or benefits to those people. It's going to be a private thing. We're going to hopefully go to festivals and pitch this thing to different places. So backers, just who are interested in what we do, who are behind what we do, that's kind of the people we've been looking for. And I'd like to say we got many very, very generous backers helping us out.
Yes.
This is a bigger budget than anything I've really worked on independently. Right. Even when I shot the Firehouse pilot with Quinn, my buddy, which that was from a big production company. They gave us a budget. Even that is lower than the money we've raised so far. And we still would love more. We have this thing is ballooning by the day. Someone's like, you need insurance on this project. And I'm like, come again? Because we've been shooting independently for 100 years.
Yeah.
So the idea of like a light coming and crashing into Brad's skull, it gets caved in. He's in court, kind of like messed up. He's suing me.
I'm suing myself.
That's how messed up he is. He's suing himself. And then he looks at the bill. No. He's working. He's getting his paycheck cut.
Yeah.
But so we're doing this thing that we're really proud of.
Yes.
We got invited to pitch something a long time ago to a very high up place, and we fell in love with the idea. So we're doing it ourselves.
Yes.
And this has been taking up so much time behind the scenes,
Right.
which is why we can't really do the big writing stuff that we normally do, like I was talking about earlier. And the project has been so much more laborious and time consuming than I possibly could have imagined.
Yeah, it is. It's one of those things where when you want to do something well,
Yes.
that takes a lot of work.
Oh, dude, that's the thing.
Like, if I think if we didn't care about results, we could roll it and shoot it in a very, very compressed time frame.
Or if we didn't care about, like, if we're just doing this for fun,
Yeah.
we're going to put it up on the website, something like just like a fun little sketch or something like that. It'd be a really different story. And to give all the Fun Bears some context, we started filming like short sketches, like little pranks, like stunts and stuff like that. I started doing that in 2003 and putting them out in public. I did a lot of projects like myself, like privately, just for fun since like I was 12, not really to show anyone, more like just for make me laugh and my friends. In 2003 is when we started Senior Discount, my band, and we were really trying to set ourselves apart from other bands, because as soon as we started, we realized people won't even be able to tell us apart from other punk bands, especially if we're starting from the bottom. We're playing these shows. Sometimes we play shows with like 10 other bands on like a whole day. And it's like, how are we going to possibly stand apart? We're not amazing musicians. I'm not an amazing singer. And even so, if you are, you're still in this sea of other bands that are, we were playing with bands where they could fucking shred and they were great. Still, you feel like, I don't know how anyone stands apart.
Right.
So what we did was we started doing these sketch, prank, and stunt videos. And, we'd prank our guitarist. We would do like, we made a whole documentary about us, and most of it was stunts and pranks and stuff like that. But eventually we switched over to doing scripted comedy. And so that was at first like very minimal and very out there,
Right.
very wild. We did a video. So we were doing these videos at the time, and then we'd even get so meta that we'd be like, let's do a video where all of us submit a video to be the next Senior Discount video.
Right.
And to make it clear, we'd put them on our website, and they would specifically promote a show, specifically promote an album, something like that. And people would watch them. We'd get this comedic reputation. They would come out to shows. They'd know that we're a funny band. We'd be funny on stage.
Right.
And that was our reputation that we started. I'm talking banana peels, unicycles. We had a little dog that jumped on a ball. What else is funny on stage?
A seal that honked horns.
Yeah, what did he play? What was that song he always played?
Oh,
A Star Spangled Banner.
Yeah.
There was that. Then another song. What was the other song?
Dixie, and that had to be taken out of the repertoire 2020-ish.
Yeah. And then there was the Two Live Crew song he would play.
Well, that he still does.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Yeah, if there's anything Two Live Crew is known for, it's their accessible melody.
By even the seals of the world.
Easy a seal can play.
Yeah, we had a lot of fun.
People listen to Two Live Crew is the melody.
Yeah, I think so. Well, there was that other seal that helped him like act out stuff.
Yeah.
We also had to retire that.
Yeah.
We played at that Boy Scout camp.
Went.
Yeah. A lot of funny stuff on stage. But we created this reputation as being a funny band. And what happened was we're doing these videos, At first, we're filming him with a handy cam with no microphones.
Right.
We're just like, I'm like, all right, Brad, here are your lines. And I'm filming him from over here. And he'd be like, blah, 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 blah. And there's no microphone on him. So it's just super echoey, whatever. No lights at first. And these, by the way, these videos are fun. And I am proud of the writing.
Yeah.
And I kind of am proud of like, this is our third video ever, and here's how it is. I think it's in terms of the context of how far along we should be in terms of professionalism.
Right.
I thought we were right where we should be. But what happened was every time we did a video, we wanted to improve the quality.
Yep.
So we had done it for a couple years. We probably did like, I don't know how many before Brad came involved. I don't know, maybe like I'd say 12-ish. Met Brad in 2008.
Yep.
I saw Brad at an improv show because our bassist of Senior Discount did improv.
Yep.
And Brad was part of his improv troupe.
Yes.
And I saw him and I'm like, this guy is so fucking funny. He's so bitchy. Like he has such a nerdy little quality. He has a tiny dick. His nutsack barely exists.
It was all out on stage.
yeah. So I was like, I got to meet this guy. We got to talk about bringing him into the videos. So what we did was we started brainstorming. This is 2008, 2009. And we came up with this idea that Brad would be the head of the Rhode Island League of Decency, which we made up.
Old to this day.
And the idea was Senior Discount, we're doing pranks, we're doing stunts, we're obscene on stage, we're a fast, thrashy punk rock band for a lot of our songs. And we had this reputation for being a little kooky and a little, what would you say?
It's weird because it's not obscene.
No.
But like playfully obscene.
Yeah, playfully obscene. We're irreverent. We're pushing boundaries.
The irreverency is probably the most.
Yeah. Could be construed as offensive in some ways. So the gimmick we came up with was that Brad hated us.
Yes.
He was part of this Rhode Island League of Decency, and he just wanted to stop us at first. What was the first video? Was it a decent proposal?
It was selling you the van.
Yeah. Yeah, so he hated us. And so he owned a van. The storyline was he owned a van. And he's this like stuck up nerdy. It's Brad times 1,000. Yeah. That's what it is. So he has this van
times 2.
Brad times 1.3. We're trying to, so basically he hates us. We know that he hates us. How do we know that you hate us?
It's weird. I think I had written to the no.
I'm trying to think of how we knew, but Brad was dealing with in the world of this stuff. He was in the head of the Rhode Island League of Decency, and he was dealing with the United States, the U.S. League of Decency.
In the first video, you needed a van and a practice space, and so the band divvied up to go deal with those two problems.
Yeah, because it was like a sitcom at this point. We'd have A storylines and B storylines.
Showed up at my home.
Yes.
To
trick
me, to not say what band they were from. And, it was like, they were like, oh, we're a band. And I'm like, oh, gospel or Christian rock?
And Christian, our drummer, was like, Christian rock.
Christ Talica.
Yeah, Christ Talica. So we're trying to trick him.
Yeah.
We do trick him. He sells us the van. He hates us more at the end of this video, Yeah. So it's really turning into a sitcom at this point, where we really do have A storyline, B storyline, sometimes C storyline. I think I would consider A storyline probably you trying to stop us.
Yeah.
B storyline, me and our old bassist Sousa trying to find a practice space
and write a song.
And then C storyline, Tom and Christian trying to find a band, our old lead guitarist and our drummer, and then the C and A storyline all come together, of course. So we, if I remember correctly, don't we steal what's it called when you have a car that you need it? It's a piece of paper that you have a title. We stole the title from you. I think we signed the contract with some weird name or whatever it was. So at this point in time, we're turning into, and there's a reason I'm going through this, we're turning into a sitcom.
Yes.
We do another one where Brad becomes our friend. That's just one of my favorites.
Yeah, I was the fire marshal, and you needed approval to play a show because you had burned down a previous club on accident. And in order, and I think I needed to learn how to like talk to women, and so
Well, no, it was you had to rehabilitate us.
Yes.
The USLOD, U.S. League of
States League of Business. So dumb.
No, it's not. League of
And so dumb in the best way.
yeah. Well, I love the idea that the League of Decency is going around and basically trying to stop people that come off as obscene or indecent. And so, A, you wanted to eradicate us in the first one. Now, B, in the next one, now you're trying to rehabilitate us.
Right.
And so you're like, all right, I'm spending a week with the guys. I got to rehabilitate. We're like, we need this letter from a fire marshal approving us to play the show,
Yep.
which is a little bit of a stretch.
Yes, it was.
And so Bradley Stevenson, his name as the head of the Rhode Island League of Decency, and Senior Discount spend the week together.
Yeah.
And more comes out of that. It's helping you talk to girls. You're helping us with our resumes. You're doing different things. We're teaching you about pranking people. There's a lot of stuff like that. And the conclusion of the video, which I love, is like earlier in the video, Senior Discount's practicing our vocal stuff, our vocals and harmonies, and we do an a cappella version of Lean on Me.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yes, I do.
And you're surprised
Yeah.
at the
Because I don't think that there's any redeeming quality to Senior Discount or their music. But Lean on Me is such a beautiful, redemptive song, and this is a beautiful arrangement of it.
yes.
It really surprises Bradley Stevenson.
Yes. So what happens is at the end,
We're meeting with the United States League of Decency, the chancellors of the youth law,
yeah, in this video,
filmed in like a classroom at UMass Dartmouth where I work.
we filmed so much stuff at UMass Dartmouth because he worked there. So what happens is we go in front of the chancellors of the United States League of Decency. And Brad's like, listen, you guys got to lie and pretend I rehabilitated you.
Yes.
And so we go in front of them, and, we're wearing ties and we're wearing button-down shirts. And they're like, all right, are you guys going to say jizz anymore? And we're like, no. He goes, are you guys going to call each other dicks? And we're like, no, we're not going to call each other. And it's like, do you think it's funny when a grown man's penis flops out of his pants? Yeah. And we finally break. We're like, of course it's funny. That's the funniest jizz I ever heard in my life. Yeah. And so we blow it.
Yeah.
And then Brad stands up to make a speech, and it turns into Lean on Me.
Yes.
It turns into that, and we do a huge version of Lean on Me with like 10 people all doing a cappella parts, and that's how the story ends. The reason I bring all this up, I think we did one more video after that, which was about Senior Discount having an entrance exam for our new guitarist and our new bassist, and Brad's doing it just for fun.
Yeah, I like tests.
Yeah, and he's failing miserably. I think that was our most produced one.
Yeah.
At this point in time, we're using a boom mic, we're using lights, we're minimal lights, and we're trying to film a lot better. We're doing transitional music.
Right.
That was the one I think that when we were doing it for just for Senior Discount was the most professional one.
Right.
I wish I could remember the name. But anyway, so I remember the opening with the white, like the things coming in, like it was like a box, then another box showing this person showing up, my foot coming out of my car, all this different stuff. I was really proud of that one. The editing is something I'm really proud of. So finally we said in real life, like, let's film a TV pilot. Like, let's actually film a pilot.
Yeah.
And we got together, we wrote it. We wrote it sort of to reset the Senior Discount timeline. We weren't making it part of them. However, if you did watch it in order, it still kind of fit in.
Right.
Where you were our new friend and blah, blah, blah. So we filmed this pilot. And the reason what happened was all the videos got produced further and further apart because of how long they took to film.
Right.
We would write for a couple weeks. We'd film it for a couple weeks because, we weren't filming every day. We were filming when people are around. And then I'd edit it and then we'd release it. We'd make promo images, whatever. And when it was like we were just throwing shit together, that didn't take very long.
Right.
By the time we got to the pilot, we were writing like crazy.
Yeah.
I remember those late nights. We're just writing, hammering. So we write this stuff. We take a while to film this. It demands a lot of different locations. I was working at a video store at the time called Movie Stop. And I remember we got permission from the manager to film there after the store closed.
Right.
It was like part of the story. It was part of our hangout spot. Right. But there was a running joke where one of us was like, it was like, you love to watch romantic comedies with your dad. Yeah. And the person is like, Fool's Gold is not a romantic comedy, which was a more current movie at the time. And that became a running joke. I just remember the final line of the episode is someone going like, what do you want to watch in the video store? And someone says Fool's Gold. And the guy says, oh, let me go call my dad. And that's the final joke of the episode. It was fun.
I'll also say the night we went to film that, the store manager got a call from like a district manager, and we all had to be silent for like 45 minutes. And the store is...
That's right. She's like, I'm getting an important call tonight as you guys are here.
Yeah.
And you're getting ready and you're setting up and you're ready to film. Yeah, we did have to be completely silent for 45 minutes.
It was rough.
Really?
We all had the giggle.
Yeah, of course. And we're filming. We're kind of in the mode to be silly, all that stuff. So we filmed this pilot. And what we did was we showed it at a live show. Yep. We did a Chuck and Brad podcast live show, and we screened the pilot for the people there. Do you remember we met someone in New York that worked at MTV?
Yes.
And we tried to go talk to him. We didn't have any connections at the time.
Nope.
So we tried to talk to this guy. We were hoping he could help us out. He didn't really help us out. And also, it was a fairly amateur project, even though we put a lot of time and stuff into it. It's just like the filming of it was still our style of like, it was a prosumer camera. It was actually the camera they used to film like Wild Boys and Viva La Bam and stuff like that. That's why we bought it, was because we thought that was a good quality for us. However, I think it worked better in documentary scenarios than it did in narrative scenarios, which our pilot was. So we had this senior discount TV pilot. And then I think we filmed little things over the years. We never did another senior discount video, right?
No.
And honestly, I wonder if the last senior discount video where you guys go through the class, I wonder if that was after the pilot.
When was the Uncle O'Brimacy video?
That was the one that I was really proud of the editing on. That was a great. Yeah. It's so funny because that eventually came into Funbearable, but we did bits with that years ago. So anyway, those are the types of projects we did. Everyone's acting for free. Everyone's filming for free. Everyone is. I'm editing for free. We're writing for free.
The location is also wherever we can find.
Yeah, we'd be like. We did do a bunch of trailers one summer, fake trailers we shot. We're like, we need a hospital.
Yep.
So that was actually pretty convincing.
Yeah.
We went to UMass Dartmouth's.
Like the nursing simulation lab.
Yeah. We shot so much stuff in Brad's apartment, around UMass Dartmouth. That was fun.
My office, the housing office, like other conference rooms on campus.
The stage.
The auditorium, wherever we could find a space. Like the guest apartment. It was, it was wherever we could find a place. And there wasn't a lot of pre-planning with, let me see how this room looks or imagine how we're going to light it.
Yeah.
Because it was, we're just finding a place that is, number one, free.
Yes, that was the most important thing.
Two, available.
Yes.
In that order.
And we're already putting so much time in. We weren't doing location scouts. Right. You know what I mean? It was like, Brad saw this room. How is it? And he'd be like, I think it works for it.
Yeah.
That was it. We need to find a hospital setting, and Brad's like, oh, maybe we can use this, whatever it is. We're filming all this stuff. Over the years, we're doing the podcast. The original podcast, Chuck and Brad podcast, actually came from the videos because the videos became so much more complicated to produce, like I was saying, with more professional takes, that we said we can do the podcast every week. We could promote senior discount shows there. We could promote Brad's improv shows there. And it's not as much production. That's a weekly thing we can do. So people, at the time, we were pulling people to our website to look up our concert dates and stuff.
Because it was the Stone Age.
Yeah, exactly. This is crazy. And you'll hear, if you're on the Patreon and you listen to our old episodes, you'll hear the production stuff on this in real time while we're doing all these videos. So, you know, we're now, the podcast is expanding. I start working with Tell 'em Steve Dave in Jersey. I start working with Tuesdays with Stories. I'm working on other projects that are independent, which is when I was like, man, I'd love to restart the podcast. You know, we met up with Ray, and one of the reasons we did Funbearable is because I'm like, well, the Chuck and Brad podcast started when we were using whatever microphones we had,
Right.
the recording stuff. The quality isn't always up to our standard. We had gotten better at podcasting. Video podcasting became default and necessary for people to discover you. So that's where the podcast originally started. And then we got to that point where I'm like, I'd really like to change it to be up to date and of a higher quality. And we're better at it, like I was just saying. So we restarted and called it Funbearable. That's how Funbearable started,
Right.
because of all those things together. And over time, I'm filming with Tell 'em Steve Dave and Tuesdays, and with Tell 'em Steve Dave specifically, I have all this experience of doing stuff that is more creative and more professional and of a higher quality. Like there's a lot of stuff that I'm super proud of producing for Tell 'em Steve Dave, super proud of doing independently. Then I'm working on sizzle reels with the Impractical Jokers. I'm working, we shot the Little People wrestling show for Discovery Channel eventually. And I get all this experience, filming these huge live shows at the Gramercy and doing all this stuff. So now we're at the point, 2026, where there's so much more experience. There's so much more experience in writing, in performing, in professionalism on the video end, and all this kind of stuff. So that's where we are now. Go back to September 2025,
Right.
which at this point is probably 5 or 6 months ago. And we had the concept we came up with a little bit before that we were pitching, and we were hoping that someone would fund it.
Right.
We start to go and say we're going to do it on our own, like I was saying. We start raising money from backers, like I was saying, and that starts, in the fall. At first, I wanted to film in December. Way too ambitious. Could not get it ready.
Right.
Pushed it back 3 months. And what I wanted to do was lock in the DP of Impractical Jokers,
Okay.
Jeffrey Sellis. Lock in one of the camera operators that I've worked with on multiple projects, Sam Weinstein. And then lock in one of the audio technicians from the show, because what we're doing requires hidden camera elements.
Right.
And I'm like, we need people with that experience,
We're
which
going
is
to be peeping on dressing room. That's the show.
now I don't want to spoil the name, but it is Dressing Room Peepers,
So
starring the Peepers. That's our characters.
we're twins.
Yeah.
The Peeper twins.
Keep going.
And
I want to hear more about this.
well, the only thing we can agree on, because we fight, we're different. Even though we're twins, we still fight all the time. But the only thing we can agree on is
How much we like to peep.
how much we like to peep. Now, I'll say this: we disagree on the best way to peep.
Yeah.
I peep from the top of the dressing room. Jeff likes to peep underneath the dressing room.
Yeah. So when we work together, it's really the best peep overall.
60 coverage.
Yeah.
It's great.
And because we're the peepers, we don't want to get confused when we say, like, you want to go be a peeper with me? We call it peepling.
Yeah.
So we're the peepers and we go peepling.
Yeah.
And that's how we're
Really
peepling.
hoping that it normalizes. Sparrow normalizes. I hate this.
So those three things happen.
Yeah.
I lock in those people, which is a huge get for the show.
Yeah.
So a lot of the budget is going to them.
Because they're professionals.
Because they're
They should be
super
compensated.
professional.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And we need locations like we were talking about before.
I don't work at UMass Dartmouth anymore.
We don't have the bottomless pit of locations at UMass Dartmouth, but we need really specific locations. And that means we have to do it in Rhode Island, because that's where all my connections are. I wrote for all those publications for years, Providence Monthly and Motif. So because of that, it was all food writing for the most part. I know all these restaurant owners and coffee shop owners and stuff like that. So I'm like, okay, here's this coffee shop, here's this restaurant, here's this. And if I did it in New York where I live, it would be I'm going into businesses cold.
Yep.
They're way more privy to people filming, so they're going to be like, all right, we need a location fee.
Yeah.
So we're trying to avoid that. So that means the people in New York we're bringing over, we have to pay for their lodging.
Yep.
We have to pay for their hotels for like a week
Yep.
to film this thing.
And we have to guarantee that they get dressing rooms that aren't peeped on.
Which I think,
It's a tough guarantee.
yeah, I gave him a 90% guarantee. But so there's that. So I'm doing location scouting. Brad's helping too.
Yep.
And I live in New York, so I'm coming back to do location scouting. I'm coming back right now this week to meet with business owners to try to convince them not only to let us film, but to let us film for free.
Yeah.
So we're doing that kind of stuff. I'm taking care. First of all, we had to also secure PAs
Yep.
for the fucking shoot, which is insane for me. We had to get a media management guy that dumps the footage every day. You don't even know about this and organizes everything. We needed to get insurance, which is a thing I never have thought about with filming. They're like, hey, you need to, like, someone talked to me that's way higher up in the world of film and television, multiple people, to be honest. And they're like, you need to buy insurance.
You're like, okay, Bob Iger.
Yeah, exactly. And they're like, oh, it's only about $1,800. And I'm like, our budget is very substantial to me.
Yep.
Taking $2,000 out of it to get insurance is rough as shit.
Yeah.
We're using my cameras, which I'm fine with doing that. But we have to rent more lenses. We have to rent more smaller cameras to hide in different places. And I have to buy SD cards and hard drives and more batteries. And so this budget, 0% is going to myself or Brad.
Right.
And also a gigantic part of this, gigantic cornerstone of this just fell apart like crazy, where we have to kind of restructure the entire thing. Like, monumentally important to the project, part of it from the ground up. I don't think we can talk about it on the podcast. I think someone will get really mad if we're honest about what happened and our feelings. Yeah, it's Brad that would be mad. This is a curveball.
I don't want you to say that it's based on my life of peeping.
Yeah. Can I at least
Get out of the title?
we're the peepers. But I'm really, this is something, we have a 6-month timeline to do this. And this gigantic change came 4.5 months in to a 6-month timeline after a lot of agreements. It's really fucked up. I'm really, really upset about it in a million ways. But anyway, so now we have to restructure the entire thing from the ground up. We have to we still have to really write specific stuff as well. But this responsibility, by the way, I'm having meetings weekly with the co-director, Jeff, and with our DP, Sam. Weekly, we're having meetings about stuff. We're using previs. We're building sets virtually and figuring out camera things. It's a level of production that I have never remotely experienced. Even when I filmed the sizzle reel, when I directed it for Q, that was like I was the director. I told people what to do. Creatively, I was in charge of the entire thing. But there were production people that took care of all the equipment, all the planning, all the call sheets. I'm going to have to make call sheets.
All the sandwiches.
Yes. The lunch. We're getting my mom to be craft services. Yeah. She's going to make lunch every day for us.
I'm excited.
I'm excited too. It's insane.
That's really the best part.
Yeah, it really is. So this level of involvement and organization and level of production that is fucking 100 times more than I've ever dealt with on these videos, which is why I kind of brought up the whole thing, is so time consuming, scary.
Yep.
I'm nervous about everything. I've never done this before. I'm trying to do my best with 1,000 responsibilities. And it's one of those things where, like, I can't even be like, hey, Brad, do this.
Right.
Because there's a lot of it that he just doesn't know about.
Well, and like, as this is going on, I'm having all these interviews with all these different places to find a full-time day job because I'd been unemployed for over 3 years.
Yes.
And so I'm sometimes traveling to different locations. I have an overnight visit coming up.
Yeah.
All these different things. And trying to put in the energy to find a full-time job because, you need to learn about the organization you're applying for. You need to write your cover letter for the job or rewrite your resume for the job.
Yes.
And dealing with the depression of not getting all these jobs.
Of course.
So it's been a
1 week
lot.
since you looked at me.
It has been a lot. And the idea of like, oh, we're filming, and the job that I'm the furthest along in maybe getting that job would require relocation, which would be the week after we film.
Yes.
And so now I'm stressing myself out for these things. Like I might not get the job. I might not have to move.
Yeah, right.
But of course I'm like, but I should probably be prepared if I do have to move. The idea of I need to pack my books and
Yes.
the cups and glasses I never use.
And also your peeping equipment,
My peeping equipment.
which is all U-Haul.
Yeah.
It's an entire
I
U-Haul.
have a go bag of like special peep equipment.
Yeah, that's the portable peep.
Yeah.
And that
Portable peep.
the portable peep, it's not 100%. He can get it done, but at a much lower quality than he
My
wants.
friend from grad school who got peeped, and she's like, it's terrible. Like,
Oh, of course.
terrible invasion of privacy, because like peep is a funny word.
Oh
It
yeah.
has the sound. And I'm like, oh, I never really considered how like violating.
Oh, for sure, for sure.
So gross.
Yeah, for sure. There's
yeah.
there's a coffee shop in Providence and they got caught peeping. Remember that?
They didn't get caught. Like
Oh yeah, I shouldn't say that. It wasn't. I mean, we didn't say their name.
Yeah.
It wasn't them doing
an
it.
employee put a camera.
It was an employee.
Yeah, I thought so. Well,
Wow.
a person
A person.
put a camera in the bathroom.
Yeah,
Records people
doing their
doing
peeps.
their bathroom stuff.
Mhm.
And of course they get, it's like somebody noticed the camera, they called the police, and the police checked the footage, and it's the guy like looking into the camera and make sure it's in focus.
He's like, it's me, Brad Peepler.
Yeah.
No, it's insane. Of course, it's crazy violating.
Like, it's gross in real life, which I think is why we joke about it.
Yeah, of course.
I don't want people to think that we're okay with peeping.
No peep.
Yeah.
What's
I
about
don't even like those marshmallows.
what about a peep show? It's a little bit more consensual.
I'm uncomfortable there. But that's because the idea.
What side of the glass are you on?
That's why I'm uncomfortable. Am I the peeper or the PB?
What if,
That's not.
what if
Bless it.
what
I
if
cannot believe I just said.
you walked into it? What if you went to a peep show?
Okay.
You put in your dime.
Yep.
It's not 1910.
All right. So Nickelodeon's running.
So you put in the peep show, right? What if it goes up and there's all these businessmen looking at you?
And I'm like,
Would you
can I strip?
with the
Music starts playing.
with
over
the social pressure, what would it do to you?
Man, I am a sucker for social pressure.
yeah.
Well, first of all, like now, I assume you're involved.
Oh, without a doubt. This was a prank.
This is a prank. That
You're like, 10 cents. This is a little bit cheap for this.
Chuck did give me one lucky dime. For this trip
Wait a
to the
minute.
big city.
It's his face laughing on it. And Brad's doing that. I'm also still doing Tell 'em Steve Dave,
Yep.
Tuesdays with Stories, and whatever other projects I got hired for. And so like, it's not like I'm like, oh yeah, I can take some time off of my job.
Yeah.
I cannot.
No.
And today, like perfect example, I have to come home. I'm doing meetings with businesses. We're doing podcasts in between.
Yep.
I had a meeting with a business this morning, right? We're doing everything. Today I was supposed to record Tuesdays. I have to pay my buddy Brian Rupert to do it instead so that I can be here.
We love Rupert, though.
We love Rupert, but holy hell. So this thing is killing us. It's taking our dicks. We don't even have the energy to peep. But we're very happy that we're doing it, of course.
Yeah.
Still looking for backing money if anyone is interested. Funbearablepod@gmail.com.
Yeah, more than anything, I'm scared. Like
I'm scared too.
I'm scared not only, but it's weird because it's like, well, what am I scared of? And it's like that I'm trying something. Like, am I scared? What if it doesn't go well? But it's like, but I know that we're funny.
I know, and we're working really hard on it. It's not like we're going in unprepared.
Right.
There's 0% of that. But the reason I bring it up is because I don't want the Fun Bears to think, Oh, they're not doing their writing stuff they used to do.
Yeah.
Oh, they're releasing a lot of panels, which is a little bit less content of us actually podcasting, even though we really try to make it cool after the panels with extra podcasting. We don't want you to think that we're getting lazy. We don't want you to think that we're getting away from that part of the show. I love writing stuff. I love doing the stuff that makes us unique to us. And it's just a time period that's really hard. We're really focusing on staying consistent. We're really doing our best. We love you guys. We love the community. We are very happy with the community that we built together with all these people, these listeners, these Fun Bears. And we don't want to let them down. We don't want to let you guys down. So we're continuing to do the show, and we're going to get back to the writing and the bigger shows and whatever pretty soon. I am happy with a bunch of the stuff we came out. I think that the Love Doctor episode with Frank was great.
my gosh.
Very happy with all the Christmas stuff. It's fun that we did Popcorn Kernels, Trailer Park. Like, that's cool.
I was dead when we were filming it.
Yeah, I could tell. I could tell that you were like, you're almost mad.
Boy, it was probably right when we watched the X-Men trailer. I fought back what would have been the biggest yawn of my life.
Yeah.
And my eyes just
Watered.
so much. And I'm like, it's going to look like I'm sobbing. For the X-Men. But I was so beat.
By the way, I was sobbing for the X-Men.
Yeah, I know.
I was losing it. I'm losing it over Doomsday, but let's not get into that. I already monologued.
You sure did.
So we're getting back to it. We're going to have fun. We just need a little time. We're filming at the end of March. And
By the way, just in terms of our filming schedule, I don't know if I end up moving, how many more episodes are we going to film here at the Comedy Connection?
we'll have to see.
Yeah.
I know. I don't know what's going to happen.
It's scary.
I know.
Always the unknown. Our good friend Tom Petty said the waiting is the hardest part, and that's kind of where we're at.
Yeah.
Where once we're in it, once we're in the filming of it,
Yeah.
I think we're both going to feel a lot better because then we're taking action
Yes.
to do this thing, and we don't have to live with the unknown of how is this thing going to go.
Yes.
But for right now, it's all how is this thing going to go? What are the things that we're going to forget?
And there's, yes, ahead of time.
Or the things that we don't know.
Exactly. And there's a lot of stuff to still figure out at this point in time. We're probably 6 to 7 weeks out of filming.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of stuff we still got to do. I mean, tomorrow and the next day, I'm meeting up with business owners and I have to say, here's our crazy idea.
Yeah.
Will you let us do this here?
Yes.
With your patrons, with the customers of the restaurant. That was part of this morning when I went to go have that thing. It's like, how much is this going to disturb the people? And I'm like, well, it's kind of...
Morally, a lot.
It's kind of like we're hoping not to disturb them that much, but have fun with them.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I just wanted to be really clear about this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
We love everybody, and we're going to get back to it. And I thought it'd be fun for the Fun Bears to get a little peek behind the curtain, too, of what we're doing, because I do think...
Little peek behind the dressing room door.
Yeah, a little peepler. You guys are the peepers in this case. Disgusting. Grow up.
Disgusto.
So if it's, if they come to the podcast for me and you,
Yep.
then they're going to want to see the thing that we do with me and you. I think that there's going to be more involvement with the podcast when we finish this. Maybe we do a live show and a live screening. Maybe we do festival screenings in different places and some of the Fun Bears can come out to the festivals.
Love it.
I would love that too. So that's where we're at. We love you guys. We're keeping it consistent and we're going to get back to the traditional Funbearable stuff soon.
Just, as we were winding up there, the idea of back to school shopping with your mom.
Yeah.
And she's like, go try these on.
Yeah.
And you have to go in the dressing room and and then you have to come out and she's like, I don't know. How terrible was that? What an unpleasant experience going clothes shopping with your mom.
Weren't you?
But who else are you going to go with?
I would rather, this is what I tried to get my mom to do. I'm like, how about we buy whatever?
Yeah.
And if it doesn't fit, we bring it back.
Oh, good luck with that at the Roar House.
Yeah.
Making 2 trips, Bradley? What's next? Turning left across traffic? No. We're going to go to Preferred Stock in Cherryville, Indiana, You're gonna run around looking for the little clips that you call skeleton keys, and you're gonna try stuff on for what feels like 2 hours, but is actually probably 10 minutes.
Yeah.
But then you have to wait because Breton has to try on clothes. Brooke has to try on clothes.
Dude, I had my uniform in school was gray pants, gray slacks, a white button-down shirt or polo, and a purple, maroon sweatshirt over it.
My kingdom for a uniform. It was, I mean, first of all, unsurprisingly, was not a fashion plate in school. I definitely, like, it was a big deal. I think I was in 6th grade and they're like, all right, boys can wear shorts to school.
Yeah.
And of course I'm like, oh yeah, I'm in 6th grade. I wear like jams.
Yeah.
Or long shorts that were like flowery, not flowery, but like cool surfer shorts.
Yeah. I wish there was flowers all over them.
No, and you know, it was 1990s. So
Yeah.
it was like neon orange and bright pink, and I'm like, yeah. I wouldn't wear jeans. I wore sweatpants all the time.
Oh boy.
And then in 7th grade, I got Bugle Boy jeans. I looked cool.
People don't know this, and this is true. Brad used to have an afro.
Afro is a strong term for how my hair used to be.
But it's similar.
You know, like if you like a stereotypical 80s and 90s nerd haircut.
Was it like Beavis?
It was probably more Beavis-y than afro-y.
I'd love to see you as Beavis.
That's how I feel. I'm always a little Beavis in my heart.
Yeah.
I
Imagine you being like, I'm Cornholio.
Yeah.
TP for your bunghole.
TB for your beehole.
Yeah, there you go.
In probably 8th grade, you know, I was like, well, I want to do my hair. And so I'm going to style it. But if you were like, oh, how are you going to style your hair? Like, well, I'm going to put hairspray in it.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all. But I put so much hairspray in it.
Did you know how to?
This was like 1992. I no mousse, no gel, just.
Can I ask questions?
And it was like. And so my friends, John and Amy, called me Helmet Head, which I, of course, did not take as, you know, like a commentary on the shellac of my hair. I took as like just the consistency of my hair. And I was so ashamed for years and years and years and years and years about my done helmet head haircut when it was just that I used way too much 1992 hairspray.
Did you have let me ask you
I
this.
was there for like a week and then I was no product for the rest of my life.
So we're talking Beavis.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
You know, you're wearing your winger.
Yeah. No, he wore either AC/DC or Metallica.
Okay.
I don't know who wore which one.
Okay. So you used a lot of hairspray.
Yes.
Does that mean it would fall if you didn't?
No, I just used it because I thought that's what you were supposed to do.
You get some weird stuff
Oh
going
my
on.
gosh. Then even when I was at Walgreens, so post-college, I still had a full head of hair. My friends were like, you should like put product in your hair. I'm like, no, I don't want to be a helmet head. And they're like, no, you get gel, you run it through. Like, I don't say I wish someone had been there to like do my hair for me and like, and say like, oh, this is how you make it look the way you want it to look.
Yeah.
But I never, ever, ever did. And then when I got to grad school after one semester, a friend of the pod, James Sokup, shaved my head, you know, cut it with clippers in the Gladson Ripley Hall bathroom. And I never went back.
Yeah. I hear you, man.
It would grow out.
Yeah, I know.
Like the idea of long hair, like down my back. No. It's just like, it's weird because it wasn't like super like tight curls, but it wasn't straight.
It was coarse.
It was coarse.
It was like a pony.
Yes. like a sick, sad pony.
The idea of you as Beavis is killing me.
It's weird because personality, you know, like I guess book intelligence wise, different ends of the spectrum.
Yeah.
But in terms of like what we think is funny, safe.
I love that. We should go as Beavis and Butthead for Halloween.
Yeah.
That would be fun.
Yeah, what's Natalie going as?
Wasn't there a girl?
Daria, I guess.
Oh, Daria. I guess she can go as Daria.
Yeah.
It was a spinoff.
Well, yeah. So,
interesting. That's hilarious, man.
Thinking about just like being young.
Oh yeah.
I miss those days. I miss the days when I could wake up and my back wouldn't hurt.
Well, think about the idea of filming all this stuff and thinking about 18 years ago when we were filming that stuff. Holy shit.
And the idea of like, all right, we're going to start filming at midnight. I even, we mentioned the pilot and having to be quiet. We filmed stuff outside and it was like, we have to finish the shot before the parking lot lights go off.
Yeah, yeah.
And we're not professional, so it's not like we've rehearsed our lines or anything.
Yeah.
And we're writing them on the way. And some of us know how to deliver lines. Some of us know how to deliver these lines because we've written together.
Yeah.
And, then we have extra people who weren't there for the writing session and don't know how we want the lines delivered.
For sure.
And so it's take effort to, I think we finished and we had like opened the trunk to put stuff away.
Yeah.
And all the lights in the parking lot went off and we barely got that shot in.
Hell yeah.
It's like,
yeah.
dealing with police because we had no permits to shoot at different places.
Oh my God.
And
a lot.
yeah.
Many times.
Too much.
But yeah, actually, a little side note, one of the things I thought, if the Patreon ever gets really big and we start, making stuff exclusively for the Patreon sometime, I always wanted to do a show where we watch the senior discount videos and pause them and talk about the behind the scenes and cut what we need to cut because
So Chuck, you said this was a sitcom length. How come it's only 4 minutes long?
yeah, it's a little kooky, almost 20 years ago. There was a different time period. That's all it is.
Yeah. We learned a lot. We grew from it.
Yeah.
Important stuff.
And I did want to say, we just brought up being quiet in the movies. The name was Movie Stop, the video store I worked at, which I loved. It was one of my favorite jobs, if not my favorite job outside of what I do now. You had to be quiet.
Oh, okay.
For a long time recently. And I wanted to hear about this.
This is like a nice, good thing, with all of our peeping. My little Bible study group, my little Monday night, every other week Bible study group, there's 6 of us, got together and we went on a retreat, overnight retreat.
Yeah.
Local, half an hour away or whatever. And we're going to stay at this site. Basically, this couple bought land on the river, and they said, we had a vision that we want to open a retreat center, a place that, small Christian groups can meet and learn and whatever. And that's what we're called to do at this stage in our life. They are retired, whatever. So they live in a house, and then there's like a fully functioning and furnished house also on the property. They have goats, it's a farm, whatever. And so, our little small group leader is like, all right, I'll plan the stuff. And he got sick and couldn't run any of it. So we went.
I didn't know that part.
Yeah, I got there on Saturday morning and, did a little exercise, a little lesson, talking about rule of life. How do you want it? What habits do you want to do daily and weekly and monthly and semi-annually and annually? Things like that. And I was in such a bad mood. I didn't have breakfast. I don't think I had any caffeine in me at that point.
Yeah.
And I was so grumpy about being there. And then, then we had lunch and that helped quite a bit.
Yeah, I bet.
Surprise, surprise. And then it came down to, we're going to do an exercise in silence. And so what we're going to do from 1 until 4:30, no electronics. So no phones, no video games or whatever. And there's 6 of us here, no conversation, just kind of be in silence. And you can read a book, you can take a nap, you can take a bath, you can walk around outside, you can hang out by the fire, whatever you want to do, but we're,
no electronics, no talking to each other.
Yeah. Just be in the silence for, I think it was 3.5 hours. And then we'll come back and we'll debrief afterwards. And I'm like, this is going to be really difficult.
You know how long I would last?
Not long.
No, it would be 2 seconds before I'm like, you guys ever like to be silent?
Isn't that interesting?
Yeah, exactly.
And so they're like, all right, begin. And I'm like, well, I'm at a church retreat. I pull out the old Bible. Let me read through some Psalms. It's been a while since I've done that. So I read through a couple of those. And they're going around and, I hear them moving. And coming from a comedy background, I want to do like exaggerated tiptoe motions everywhere.
Yep.
And like mime things. And somebody knocked over the umbrella stand, and I'm like, I want to laugh right now.
Of course.
It's very funny.
Yeah, of course. How is Mary Poppins going to get home?
Somebody went outside. There's a fire pit outside. They were outside, and like the outdoor cat that these people have jumped up on his lap and just hung out with him by the fire.
That's cool.
For much of the time.
That's good.
And so, I moved into the other room, and I found a copy of C.S. Lewis's Mere Christianity, a book I read in 2009. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to reread this. And I reread it without like checking my phone after each chapter, which is often how I read these days.
Yeah.
And just plowed through 250 pages in 2 hours-ish.
Yeah.
I get up and I get a snack, some goldfish crackers, whatever. And I hear people moving around the house. I hear the bath water running. Somebody took a bath. Somebody took a nap, whatever.
Yeah.
And then I went upstairs on my Kindle. I'm like, I don't think this counts as electronics. I'm just going to read. And so I read for a little bit of whatever. I think I was reading Good Day, but the first Day of a Bad Book. And then
they're going to say the Dave Matthews autobiography.
That would have gone over really well. And then,
first chapter, Tripping Billies.
Yeah. Second chapter, the Chicago River. Then at 4:30, they rang a bell and we went downstairs and we talked about it and how I'm like, like 3 hours was kind of my limit because I live alone.
Yeah.
And so I'm often silent, but also taking out the electronics. And then even like the small conversations that I have when I am home alone with the cat.
Yeah.
Like, oh, come over here. Oh, what? No snuggles, whatever.
Yeah.
It's hard because so much of our lives are lived with noise.
Dude, absolutely.
And, there's good noise like Funbearable.
Yeah.
And there's bad noise like everything else.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
It was really, really, really good.
That's good.
Just to have done it.
Yeah.
To say, oh, I wasn't sure I could do this. And then, of course, I did it and could have done more.
Yeah.
I don't love it, but it's nice to just kind of take that time and be silent and hear what needs to be heard. I wanted it to be like, wow, in that moment, I was spiritually fulfilled and changed. And I don't think that happened. I don't think that happened to anyone on the trip, but I think we were all grateful for the excuse to not have to be productive.
Oh, yeah.
It was where like our job was, in fact, to not be productive.
That's hard for me.
Yes, it is.
Oh my God.
But yeah, the idea, imagining you going through it and you're pointing at someone like, do you want these goldfish crackers?
Oh, without a doubt.
And you're like, you want to crunch them silently, like how you are.
Yeah, I would make moose antlers behind you.
You're like, I want to be silent.
Yeah, yeah.
Somebody walked down the street. Somebody went out there. They were throwing rocks on an icy pond or whatever. And yeah, I really enjoyed it. And, we talked about it. We all liked it. And then I think we had tacos for dinner, played some games, did a fully clothed hot tub.
Fully clothed?
Well, sorry. I phrased that wrong. I was going to say that no one was skinny dipping, which we referenced in a previous episode.
Brad had a tuxedo on.
Top hat and tail.
This is, with your cane.
Yeah, this is the amount of nudity that's appropriate at a church retreat.
Fully clothed hot tub.
It was my first ever like cold air hot tub experience where it was like 25 out.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is pretty nice.
Yeah, I did one recently too.
I never had. So it was good. And, then we chit-chatted for hours and then went to bed and got up and did another lesson and then had lunch and cleaned up and went home. And it was a really good day and a half or so of just being with people I like in a unique setting.
That's great.
So folks, if you find yourself distracted by the noise of life, set yourself some time for silence.
Yeah, man.
After you're caught up on Funbearable.
Yes, of course.
So that's the most important thing.
That's great.
But the idea of taking a couple hours and saying like, look, no electronics. I'm going to take time to be alone in nature or journal or read a paper book.
Yeah.
It's good. It's good stuff.
No, that's great.
I feel like a lot of our life is about productivity and noise and kind of confusion, and being able to take that time intentionally.
Yeah.
Helps.
I would love to exercise the idea of not needing dopamine all the time.
Yeah.
Because that's what we're doing. When you're on your phone 100% of the time, you're looking for the next thing that makes you happy, it makes you smile, it makes you laugh, which sounds positive. But what you're doing is you're lowering your ability to not be entertained.
Yeah.
And I feel so affected by that.
Yes.
And I want to be a person again. Back in when you could just go for a car ride and just be like having music low in the background and that's it.
That was my drive to Staten Island this weekend. I had an hour and a half where I think NFL Talk Radio, but it was super low.
Yes.
And so, there's susurrations in my head. There's noise. But
Yeah.
It's not anything meaningful. And I can just kind of be.
Yeah.
You were terrible at that.
Oh,
You are terrible at that. Like if we drove together, maybe you listen to a song and a half and then you turn it down and you turn to me and you're like, so, but yeah, if Miles Morales had to fight Peter Parker.
well, is discussion different?
I think it's the idea of the conversation has to happen all
Yeah.
the time.
No, I hear you.
Even you're like, all right, this is my best songs of all time playlist. We're gonna take a break after each one and see if it's also on your playlist.
Yeah. I'm learning more about a friend.
Yeah.
I will say, like, I would rather bond with people than like watch a mindless thing for sure.
Yeah.
But I hate the fact that I feel like I always need to be doing a thing.
Yeah.
I always do. I can't chill out. And I got to work on that, man. What can you do?
Yeah.
Well, that was good. I'm glad to hear you.
I
And
got a lot of it.
yeah, that's good.
I'm grateful that I did it because I was not pro retreat
Yeah.
before we did it.
Yeah.
And I was like, if I could have gone home at 10 p.m. and slept in my own bed that night, I would have been 1,000 times more enthusiastic about the whole process.
Yeah, I bet. I know what you're
That
talking
also
about.
kind of just
Defeats the purpose.
So
I get it.
that's that. So that's where we're at, folks, with Funbearable. If you struggle with silence in your life or if you found good practices, let us know. Sound profound and send us an email, funbearablepod@gmail.com, and find us through socials at funbearablepod. Always happy to hear from all y'all.
I think that this is gonna air before the Sound Profound episode.
It's a tease.
But I like Sound Profound.
Yes.
That's pretty good. We should turn that into something.
Yes.
All right.
Sound profound puppies.
Yeah, I'm gonna write that down.
Okay.
Use Sound Profound.
More often.
Yes.
But yeah, we're always happy to hear from you. Check out the Patreon. Give us a like, a subscribe, a rating. Tell a friend, tell a stranger. Mind it in silence. Tell a barn cat.
Yes.
Whatever it is you need to do. For Chuck Staten, I'm Brad Rohr saying thank you so much. And we're sorry for being Funbearable.
So do you want to workshop names for the film project?
Yeah, I'd love to.
I only have one.
Okay.
Helmet Head and the Peopler.
What role do I play?
I guess I don't know. Both. Have you seen The Clumps?